Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. Hope you guys are having a lovely evening. I am trying to beat out the storm, so I wanted to make sure that I came in here live just in case my electricity all of a sudden decides to give out. So why not learn until it's time to burn? Here we go. So coming on in, I'm actually going to try to do two concepts. Now, the first concept, we were kind of touching on this on Monday. So solving radical equations. And you're probably like, Audrey, well, didn't we already do that this week? Yeah, you're not high. Everything's okay. All right, you're not tripping. Yes, we did. But I noticed that there are some people that are taking their college algebra exams this week, and they're a little stuck on this. So I'm going to relive it, not only do square roots, but I'm also going to do some other roots as well. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to do it, hopefully, depending on weather-wise, that I am going to touch on angles of elevation and angles of depression. Okay, some of those word problems that we can basically break down and actually feel a little more confident with it. So as you guys are coming on in, go ahead and tap it up. Let's see if we can get to like at least 1,000 so we can get ourselves started. I'm going to kind of start setting things up and see who's here. So, hey, how are you, Jess? Hello. Hello, Linda. Okay, we got a Jessie, and then we have Tiquan. I think that's it. Yes. And then Janice is here. Hey. I'm waiting for the suspense. I saw your post and I was like, say what? What's going on? Hey, is this real? Is it fake? Because I can't even tell anymore. I just can't tell. Because people just be playing games on this app. Just playing. All right. So, as you can see, there is a goal of 20 roses. I would love to reach that goal for today. I am shooting for being on here for about an hour, at most an hour and 15 minutes. So, anything that you guys can deal, I will deal with. Yes, Tillman. I knew it was Tillman. How are you? All right, so as promised, we got there. So, let's get started. So, my first example... Okay, we're going to start off slow, kind of refresh our memory. You know, we can't be like, hey, this is what we did last time. Girl, we can't remember what I did yesterday. You talking about what happened on Monday, right? So we got the square root of 7x plus 2 is equal to 4. So we're trying to basically solve for x. Anytime we see the equal sign, we are solving for whatever that variable is. Now, we can't just all of a sudden come in here and say, oh, let me snatch this 2 and put it over on the other side of the equal sign. Right now, they're in the house. Okay? You can't just go and snatch people out of their houses. What you trying to do? You trying to go to jail. Why are you trying to go to jail? Okay? We don't do that. Okay? This is how our society works. So first off, they got to let them to open the door. Okay? In order for us to get rid of this house, we got to do the inverse. So the inverse of a square root is a square. Okay? The inverse of a square root is a square. So we're trying to square both sides of the equal sign. So when we do that, this square and this square root, they cancel each other out. They're inverses of each other. So then what happens is that 7 squared, or 7x, plus 2 is coming on down, bringing down my equal sign. But over here, we have to square that 4. So 4 squared is not 8. Stop. Please, for all love and insanity. Okay? This is telling me I need this base of 4 to multiply to itself. So that means 4 times 4. 4 times 4, that gives me 16. Now, this looked like basically an algebra 2 type situation. Now it brought it down to an algebra 1 situation. So what we need to do is subtract 2 on both sides. So positive 2 and negative 2, they cancel out. So what we got here is 7x is equal to 14. And now is equal to 14. And now, to a pre-algebra situation. So all we have to do right now is divide both sides by 7, because 7x is 7 times x. And the 7's will cancel out, leaving me with the x, or 1x. And then 14 divided by 7 will give me 2. And what we could do is check it. And the way that you check it is you're going to take the 2. This says x equals 2. We're going to take that 2 and go back to the original equation. Wherever we see an x, we're going to plug in that 2. So 7 times 2 gives me 14, plus 2 gives me 16. And the square root of 16 normally will be a plus or minus 4. Okay, remember, because negative 4 times negative 4 also can give me 16. But right now, they just want to care about the positive side, which does make it a true statement. All right? All right. Why is this so soothing to you? It's my voice. Thanks! It has been a while, girl. Where have you been? What's going on? What's social? Hey, Danny. Thanks. It has been a while, girl. Where have you been? What's going on? What's social? Hey, Danny. Okay, thank you so much for the follow, guys, and thank you so much for the taps. I greatly appreciate it. Yes. Oh, well, thank you. Some days I wonder myself. All right, so we have that. I'm trying not to have all my papers fly all over the place, but people, I cannot turn this fan off. Girlfriend will burn up. I'm ready to pass out. That's why I'm like, nope. All right, so let me slide over here. Now I'm going to take it up a notch. I know how much you love when I say that. You love square root. We're going to look at a cube root. All right, so this time we have the cube root of x minus 1 equals negative 4. All right, breathe. It's going to be okay. All right, I know you're probably like, oh, Jesus. No. We'll be all right. Okay, don't worry. I got a whole list. She's Shady Kid. I got a whole list. Cosplay. Oh, soon. Sarah. Girl. You better give it me so we can do a review. My goodness. To your question. Do you have a question? I don't remember seeing your question. Or are you just going to play with me so I had to say? No, you did. You did ask a question. Why we squared again? Oh, okay. I got you. The reason why we square is in order for me to get rid of the square root, I have to do the inverse. Just like if I wanted to add, I need to subtract in order to cancel out numbers. If I'm multiplying, the inverse of multiplying is dividing. That's how I'm able to get my x alone. So the reason why I'm squaring, just like if I was dividing here, whatever I do on one side, I do on the other. So if I'm squaring, squares and square roots, they're inverses of each other. They cancel each other out, just like addition and subtraction, multiplication and dividing. Okay, they're inverses. So whatever I do on one side, I have to do on the other side. Okay. The smoke, is that okay? All right. Okay. You're tuned? Awesome. Okay. Bringing all the smoke. Are you okay? Do you see why? So you're going to see it again here. because now we got the cube root of x minus 1 equals negative 4. So, don't worry, bull. It's going to come back to you, okay? It is going to come back to you like a lost love. They always come back. Not at the right time, though, but they always come back, right? So, the inverse, first of all, we can't snatch people out of their homes. That's how you go to jail. We don't want to go to jail now, do we? No. All right? So, we can't snatch this negative 1 and say, oh, add 1 on both sides. No, because right now it's underneath this radical. So, this radical is a cube root. Know how I know? This one's a square root because the lowest that we can go with roots is a square root. Okay, there's no such thing as a 1 root. So since this is a cube root, I need to cube both sides. Whatever I do to one side of the equation, I'm doing to the other. All right? Yes, we don't want to go to jail. No snitching. See, I don't know. Nah, I keep it all. That's why I'm so stressed out, because I don't be snitching. I got all this stuff in my head. Audrey, don't tell nobody. You know how many years of people told me don't tell nobody? That is still in my system. This is why I need a detox. This is why. All right. So the cube and the cube root, they cancel each other out. That's gone. That's gone. So that x minus 1 comes down. So now we have that negative 4 to the third power. Don't tell me it's negative 12. I will shut this live off. Don't tempt me, Michael. Michael's like, I'm about to type it. No. I got secrets. Oh, yeah, Michael. So many. All right. So this negative 4 to the third power, this is the same as, and I'll even write it right here, negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4. That's what this is saying. Trust and believe that if you put it in a test, they will definitely have negative 12 written down there. Okay? So, negative times a negative is a positive. And then that positive times this negative is a negative. And I know for sure there's going to be someone out there that's going to say, well, wait, we can't have a negative. We can't do a negative. Yes, we can with cubes. Cubes, we can have negatives. So this gives me a what? There we go, Kid Trooper. Thank you so much. A negative 64. And everything else comes on down. Can I set up a basic plan for somebody? Message me and give me an idea of what exactly you mean by a basic plan. Yes, Michael, I know. I know you now. So we got Kim, yes, with a negative 4. Big Al, don't forget the negative. Even though these two turned out to be a positive, but since I got to multiply this last negative 4, that will make this into a negative. Okay? Oh, I know. I'm glad you're back. All right. Now, adding 1. Yes. Who said that? Spooky Pookie. Love the name. So then we have negative 1 plus 1. Then we have our x is equal to negative 64 plus 1. You owe me $64. You just gave me $1. But you know what? I'll take it. But you still owe me negative. You still owe me $63. Okay. Okay. That's all right. I'm glad you're here. Appreciate you. Hold on. I thought I was going to sneeze. It'll sneak up on me. All right. So we have x is equal to negative 63. Now, here's the thing. If you want to check it, plug it back into the original. So negative 63 minus 1 is a negative 64. And I know for a fact someone's going to be like, no, I can't do it. It's wrong. There's no solution. Pause. It's a cube root. You can have negatives underneath a cube root. You can't have negatives underneath a square root. That's when you have those complex numbers. Remember those i's? Okay, the square root of -1. You only have to do that when you're dealing with square roots. Cube roots, you can have a negative underneath there. So the cube root of -64 is my -4. Okay, awesome. Nice, good. All right, so keep on tapping, keep on clapping. Soon, over here trying to rap, all of a sudden, TikTok's thinking I'm talking some nasty stuff and they shut me down. Okay. And if you can send some roses, my goal for tonight is 20 roses. Wait, y plus 1. Okay. So since it was x minus 1, you have to do the inverse. When you do the inverse, you're going to be adding 1. Okay. Oh! Well, we reached our goal. Thank you so much. Scared the hell out of me. I wasn't expecting it. All right. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. Not a problem. Not a problem. See, so you're like, ooh, oh, okay, got it. All right, so let's get with another one. So what happens if I say, let's talk about this one. We got the fourth root of 3x plus 6 is equal to -3. Ooh, intriguing, intriguing. Well, here's my thing. I know there's some people that are here trying to get their GED and you're wondering, is this going to be on the test? Not to the fourth power, but the process is going to be on there, especially when you're dealing with square roots. So even though we're taking it a notch, just up a notch with Algebra 2, maybe a little bit of pre-calc, okay, depending on how things go. But then if you notice, after we do one step, we're right into the spot where you guys are redoing for high school equivalency, also ASVAB, ACCUPLACER. ACCUPLACER is definitely going to be this with maybe some other type of indexes, okay? So this kind of works for everybody, even T's, okay? My T's test people, you're also going to have this as well. All right, so Sarah, what we got? Why does the square root exclude negatives? Oh, you're going to see. Because positive times a negative is a negative. True, but you're going to see in a moment. Okay. Yep, and we got the fourth root. Oh, look at you finding the little symbol, Big Al. Good job. All right, thank you so much for the follows, guys. I appreciate it. So, let's take a look, right? We have the fourth root of 3x plus 1, I was about to say plus y, plus 6 equals -3. Now, in order for us, we can't just snatch 6 out of the house. Craziness. So we have to get rid of that fourth root. In order to get rid of the fourth root, we need to raise it to the fourth power. Do we see the pattern now? Regardless if I have just a square root or a cube root, fourth root, 10th root, believe it or not, they exist, okay? Whatever this index is, that's what you're going to use to raise on both sides of the equal sign, okay? All right, so we see that? Yes. Okay, so whatever that index, if you don't see a number here, it's assumed to be a square root. So that means you are squaring both sides. Any other number, there's no such thing as a one root. Okay, so just get that out of your head. All right, good. So what's happened is that this fourth and this fourth root cancels out. So what's left is my 3x plus 6 equals. So now, we have to do -3 to the 4th power. So that's -3 times -3 times -3 times -3. Okay, -3 times -3 gives me a +9. I got 2 sets of +9s. So that gives me an 81. Okay, and it's going to be a +81. So let me write it off. I'll write it off to the side over here. Okay, so we have -3 times -3 times -3. And squeeze this -3 over here. Okay. We got -3 times negative. So negative times negative gives me a positive. So this will give me a +9. These two will also give me a +9. Okay. So 9 times 9 will give me my 81. All right. So we see it now. All right, awesome. I try, and I really do try to make it simple. Okay, we don't need to get crazy with complications. So now we went from, I want to say, like an advanced algebra 2 entry level pre-calculus to a algebra 1 almost pre-algebra. Okay, so now we're trying to solve for x. Go ahead, we're going to subtract 6 on both sides. So they cancel out. So we have our 3x is equal to 75. Right, good. And 7 is equal to 75. Right, good. And 75 divided by 3, because 3x is 3 times x, so the opposite of times is division. Cancel out the 3's. So now we have x is equal to 25. And you're probably saying, yay, here we go. That's our answer. Woo, woo. Check it. Not I'm trying to rap or anything, but no, like really. We need to check it. And this is the reason why they have us check it. Because I'm going to put it off to the side over here. So we have, I'll put it in green. So we had the 4th root of 3 times x plus 6. And it's going to equal a -3. Does anyone see the problem? Does anyone see the problem before I even dive into this? This is just solving radical equations. Okay. Square root. There's no balance in the equation. Negative. KC. Negative. Anytime we do a root, do we ever get a negative? And let me clarify. Do we ever get a negative when we have an even root? Okay. Can we get a negative number if we have an even root? Think about it. So if we plug this in, we got our 75, right? 3 times 25. And then we have our 75 plus the 6. So that gives me the 4th root. Let me grab my pen again. So now we got the 4th root of 81. Okay, and we're trying to see, because we're checking it, we're trying to see if it equals -3. But like we said, the 4th root of 81, I need to think of what raised to the 4th power will give me 81. What raised to the 4th power? Okay, so it kind of goes back to what someone said. Yes. So 3 to the 4th power. 3. There we go. Carrie, welcome back. 3. Okay. So 3 to the 4th power. So that means this is a perfect fourth. I know. We're used to seeing perfect squares. We're just starting to get comfortable with the cubes. Now here I go throwing you with the fourths, right? Because, So this gives me a positive 3. Here we are. Can a positive 3 equal a negative 3? Can making $3 be the same as losing $3? I mean, we tried to negotiate like that with our bills, right? And our tax collectors and bill collectors. We would say, you know what? We could just do a little barter. But reality? No. Nah, son. Nah. Yeah, right? We wish, right? Okay? So this is why it's not working. The reason why we have an even root. And if we think a number that's being multiplied by itself, 4 times, let's think of that, you're going to get a positive answer. But if it's to 3 times, like the cube, that will work. Because we saw it here. If I multiplied these two together, I got a positive answer. And then I multiply by a negative, I'm always going to get a negative answer. But if I'm looking at an even root, that's a square root, that's a 4th root, the 6th root, the 8th root, the 10th root, and so on. Okay? I can never have it equal a negative number. So right away, really, I can say that this is going to be a no solution. Okay, so if they ever, which they probably won't, maybe ACCUPLACER, if you see an even root and it says it's going to equal to a negative right from the jump, no solution right away. Cook it, bubble it, move on. Okay, seriously. Right away. Sure, give me a moment. Because I don't think I'm zoomed. No, I'm not. I can give you this. This is all you get. This is all you get. All right. Okay, how are we feeling? How are we feeling right now? Are we feeling okay? Are we feeling like, oh my gosh, I feel like the clouds are opening up. You're feeling perfect. I love it. All right. Some of you are like, this is great. Maybe you didn't know you're going to meet me on your FYP. You were just like, you're feeling hungry. You know what? I'm feeling you, dude. I'm feeling you. I have a salmon salad just waiting for me. Try to say that 5 times fast. Salmon salad. All right. Taking your brain back to high school. So much fun. Good. So no solution. Yes, no solution would be your answer. Yep. I know you're doing all of that. Okay. You're lightheaded. All right. Put your head between your knees and breathe. Okay. I was like, or if you need to lay down, put your feet up. One of the two. Teaching math to college prep. Yeah, right? It's a nice refresher. Hey, welcome in. I'm telling you. This is what I do. I basically try to take the intimidation from math out. I am basically saying my purpose is my pain. I had teachers that called me stupid. I had teachers that just literally ignored me. I had teachers that tried to pass me and I didn't know much of anything. Yeah, I've been through it in many different realms. So, and that's why I have a fear. I used to have a fear of fractions. I had a fear of word problems. It wasn't until I wanted to be a math teacher that it made sense. Okay, I had to, because I had to teach it. I can't sit here and look dumb if I'm expecting my students to know it and I don't know it. That's silly, right? So that's why we are here. Okay, let me see if I can grab a couple more, and then I'm going to flip the script. Wiki. All right, 2, maybe 3 more. All right, so let's see if we can tap it up. There's 230. Some people left. Get your butts back here. There's 234. There we go. People here. Like, go ahead, tap it up. Don't be afraid. We're going to be doing some more math. Come on. There you go. Find some friends. I'm glad you popped in. Oh, good. All right. Hey, if you need some help, okay, please. I do online tutoring, guys. Like, I'm not just a pretty hand that does math. I also do online tutoring. The notebook that you see me using, I actually developed this because I love organization. I got tired of my current students not being organized. So if you need assistance, reach out, okay? Before you know it, August will be here. Can you believe it? We'll be here next week. And already I got some kids already like, hey, we're going back to school in 2 weeks. And I was like, all right. And I can't wait. All right, so let's take it back. Let's take it back to the square roots. But I'm going to do a little advancement, just a little bit. Yeah, if we can get it to 30K, that will be amazeballs. I mean, if everyone just does a super mad tap, we'll be ready to rock and roll. I'm going to cover it up. Yes, if you need help, just message me, okay? Even if it's a requested message. I'm learning to take a look in there. And while this video is overloading, when this video is uploading, I usually take the time to read the requests and respond back to you guys, okay? All right. Let's see. My phrases? I mean, I'm 52, soon to be 53, so, you know. All right. Yes. Only because we have PD on the 4th. Okay. Yes. Hey, Tanisha. How are you? All right. Awesome. Let's get it going. All right, so we are going to be breaking this down. We got 2 square roots, and they're on the same side of the equal sign. We have the square root of 3x minus 8 minus the square root of x equals 0. So I know why everybody's like, all right, yeah, I could take the square of both sides. It's not both sides because they're both on the same side. But we can do something first. Hey, Faye, how are you? Okay, what we can do, as soon as I grab the right pen, we can add the square root of x on both sides. Ooh, look at that. Love it. ASMR. Didn't know you were going to get that, huh? All right. So what happens, these are going to cancel out. Now, I'm going to still bring down my square root of 3x minus 8. But this time it's going to equal a positive square root of x. Now, since they're both square roots, what should I do to both sides? What can I do? Tell me what to do, what you want to do. Not quite add. Remember, we can't steal people out of their homes. That's how we go to jail. You just got here, girl. That's all right. Okay, so we're going to square both sides. We don't want to add. Why is everybody trying to go to jail? No. Okay, there we go. We're going to square. Yes. Okay, we'll never understand. Yes, you will understand, Bev. Get out of your own self. All right, so we're going to square. We're going to square. Not really square roots because they're already square roots, but we want to remove the house by squaring. Yes. Let us square. Because the inverse or the opposite of a square root is a square. All right? So when we take the square, whatever you do on one side, you got to do on the other side. When we do that, basically the square and the square roots, they're going to cancel each other. So now we took it from an Algebra 2 problem to an Algebra 1 problem. Okay, so that means all I'm bringing down is the 3x minus 8, the equal sign, and the x. All right. Okay. Yep, just keep watching. It's going to be all right. All right. It's far too advanced. Nah. Come on. All right. So now, once we get into this situation, I notice I got 2 x's. And I know if I want to, I can either, let's see, if I want to, I could subtract this 3x. I could subtract the x. I just had to make a decision. Because guess what? You're going to get the same answer anyway. So if I subtract the 3x, positive 3x and negative 3x will cancel to give me a 0, right? I don't need to bring that 0 down because I still have the negative 8 on the same side of that equal sign. So I don't need the placeholder. But here I have 1x minus 3x, okay? So user all of that says it's going to be a negative 2x. All right. Okay. We're here. Good. All right. All right. Awesome, God. Where were you? I was praying to you earlier. That was cool. So now we're going to get x by itself. So we have that negative 2. So we got to divide negative 2 on both sides. Boom and boom. So negative 2 divided by negative 2 gives me 1x, or we could just say x. And then a negative divided by negative, that's going to be a positive. Good. I saw that. Who's that? Jess? Jess has a division sign. Okay. Right? No, it's not negative 4, my baby. Come on. You have $1. You want to spend $3. That means you short $2. Come on, we can't be doing this craziness with math. All right? That's how you go to jail. Why is everybody trying to go to jail today? Y'all all right? Y'all need a hug? You okay? All right. I know it's been a long week. It's okay. Breathe it out. There you go. All right. So positive 4. So 4 equals x. All right? Or you can switch it around with the identity and say x equals 4. Okay? All right. Now, I know. A Bell. We okay, baby? We got a +1. Why are we doing +1s? I know. You're trying to be silly. That's okay. All right. So now, because we have this, always take a check, okay? So if I plug it back in here, we're going to plug the 4 into the original. So 3 times 4 gives me 12, right? And then you have 12 minus 8, that gives you square root of 4, right? Square root of 4 is 2. Here, if I plug the 4 in, square root of 4. Square root of 4 is 2. 2 minus 2, that does give me 0. So this works. Okay, so that is going to be your true solution. All right. Yes. Exactly. That's why I do it. Because people understand money more so than remember the rules. Remember the rules. Remember the rules. Okay? All right. You okay, Lucy? These are fun. Yeah, they are fun. But try doing tutoring of this most of today. Yeah. It just gets kind of crazy. But as long as you understand your main goal, just like any kind of exam, any kind of equation, you're basically trying to get the variable by itself. So if you think of square roots or radicals, which is their traditional term, if you think of radicals as homes, don't try to do a home invasion and just snatch people out of their homes. We can't stop. Okay? You have to get rid of the radicals before you can do any kind of adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. Okay? And the only way you can get rid of the radicals is look at the index. This is a square root. So that means I need it to square. This one was a fourth root. So in order for me to cancel out, I had to do to the fourth. This is a cube root. In order for me to get rid of the cube root, I had to cube it. Okay? All right. Getting to the basics. All right, so I want to do, I don't know. Yeah, why not? I'll do 2 more. Okay? Let's see if we can tap up. There's like 215 of us. We already got my thing. What do we got? Dude, me too. What's happening? You're mad tapping. Your fingers cramping. I am so sorry. Everyone, don't hold back on your love. Come on. Just like a little relationship that we got. It's got to be give or take. Okay? I'm giving you math. You give me a little taps. That's it. Okay. Oh, wait. Hold on. So when do we... Oh, the I formula, if you have, like, say, if you had a negative number underneath the square root, so if you ever go into solving and you notice that, don't write this down, everybody. Don't write this down. Actually, I'm going to write it in this little blank section over here because we don't have any formulas, really. If I ever have, like, say, the square root of negative 16, okay? When there's a negative underneath a square root, this is only works for square roots. It doesn't work for the 4th root or the 6th root. This only works for square roots. So this is when we factor out that -1 and we factor out our 16. Because -1 times -16 will give me my -16. So this square root of -1, that's your I. The square root of 16, that's a perfect square. That will give you 4. So if we clean this up, always put the number ahead of the letter. It's not a variable, this is a letter. So that's when you use the complex numbers. That's when you're going to use I. When it's a square root, and underneath that radical is a negative number. No problem. No problem. I know. I'm going to use the other side in a sec, but I wanted to make room for those 2 problems I wanted. What's going on here? Hello, Poppy. How are you? Hello, user. Blah. I love all the numbers. It's so... Okay. Well, Lucy hang on. Just hang on with me, baby girl. Hang on with me. Okay. Kicks out their siblings. Oh, okay. I like that, Misa. I like that. All right. So, almost at 50. Can we do it? Yes, we can. There is 259 of us. If we all just do a mad tap. Yep, I'm going to do another one. Kiki. Kiki, do you love me? Your body. This is what happens. Lack of sleep. Plus, I want to get... I don't think the rain is going to be that massive. They keep making it crazy. Right? All right. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Okay. I appreciate you. I do appreciate. I love the hustle, as I used to say when I'm in the classroom. I love the hustle. I don't want to be late to your class. Don't close the door on me. Well, you're not hustling, so the door is slowly. Yeah, I was one of those teachers. Yup. All right, awesome. Let me get this last number in here. All right, let's see if I can. Zoop. And zoop. There we go. All right, so we have the fourth root of x minus 1 equals the fourth root of 8. Can I send you some worksheets on radicals? Sure, if you hire me as your tutor. That's how I do those things. There's already so much free stuff on here. Yes. Okay. So go ahead and just message me. Just message me. All right. Well, thank you, Lucy, for being another fan in the fan club, which I still don't do anything for. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. At least you'll know. You'll probably get notification of when I am on live. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Speaking of which. No, it's just whatever is flowing. It's mostly going to be stuff that's going to help, like mostly algebra stuff. A little bit of geometry, which is going to be the next part that I'm going to do for tonight. But usually I'm trying to help people with their GED, the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER. So I'm really hitting on like college algebra, algebra 1, a little bit of algebra 2, and then some geometry. So I am not the calculus girl. That's not me. I just try to hit on those concepts because those are the things that say that you're a parent and your kid is like, I don't know. And it's usually when it hits algebra. Once they start putting letters and numbers together, everyone just loses their damn minds. Like I did. I ain't gonna sit up in here and say I didn't. I most definitely did. I'm like, what? Are we spelling? Is this a secret code? Like, what do I need to do? Yeah. So, not a problem. But if anything, I usually... And then, of course, my hours are going to start changing because school is about to start back up again. I used to go on like twice a day, Mondays through basically Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays. I used to go on at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and then 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But now I think starting either this week or really next week, definitely next week, I gotta have to only go once a day. Sorry, not once a week. So I'm really gonna be shooting for like the 9:30 time. But on Fridays, I'm gonna keep that 1 o'clock slot. Okay, so on Fridays it'll be 1 o'clock, but Monday, basically Sunday through Thursday, it'll be probably like around 9:30. Okay. Am I a New Yorker? No, I'm a Philly girl. I'm living in Baltimore, but I'm a Philly girl. We'll love you 1 minute, and then we want to like just destroy you the next. You're like, oh my God, he's the best player. He's a bum. Did you see him? He missed the catch. He's a bum. Oh, but he made the catch this week. Oh, we love him again. I know. It's crazy. It's a love-hate relationship. Everyone says it might be a disorder, but I just say I'm just from Philly. It just makes sense. All right. So we are going to raise both sides to the fourth power. Okay? All right. Oh, you living in Baltimore too? Is that New York energy? Yeah. You know, I haven't thrown the word John around for a minute, so, you know, I try to keep it. I don't know why I try to keep it kosher. I should just, you know, embrace it. So if I raise both sides to the fourth, I just took this from an algebra 2 problem straight to like algebra 1. So now I have my x minus 1 is equal to 8. Isn't that nice? It's almost like, you know, you're walking around with all that extra weight and all you have to do is just focus on your eating and just start walking, and then the weight starts coming off and you feel brand spanking new. One day I will, but here we are. So now all we have to do is add 1 to both sides. See, it looked so crazy complicated. And then once we do that, we got our x is equal to 9. All right. There we go. There you are, Danny. Did I miss something? Probably. Over here yammering on. People are saying stuff in the chats. Okay, we talked about the schedule. That Lucy, last time I saw you, you were doing percentages. Math is hard. Yeah, it fluctuates. It changes. Sometimes I think I was on 10 that day because it was making me crazy. A year ahead. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're not going to do any radicals with letters because that's not solving. That's not solving. That's more so simplifying. And if anything, I did do one. So here's another thing. I forgot to tell you. Look at me. I forgot telling stuff. All my recordings, if you go here, I can't say the word because I get dinged. But if you go here and you go either look up my name or you look up this, you will see all my lives. Okay, this schedule had to change again, so don't even look at this again. But you will see a recording, all my recording of my TikTok lives is actually labeled TikTok lives, right? Go ahead. I would love for you guys to do the following stuff. Like I want you to do this, I want you to do this, do this, do this, definitely do that, and do this, okay? So again, you will see all my recordings. This one, give me some time because sometimes on the weekend it takes a little bit longer for me to download and then upload. But definitely everything that I've had since February the 2nd is up there. So you can actually go here and it's a free subscription. I'm not bougie yet. Give me a couple years, but right now I'm not bougie. So we're all about here. All right. So, let me snag that. Sorry, there's a couple more messages. Okay. So, just like that, if you want to check it, 9 right here, 9 minus 1 gives me 8. Guess what? This is an 8, and it's the same root. Boom, done, check. It's amazing. All right, and let's do one more, and then I'm going to switch it over to elevation and depression. That was another thing that a couple people were getting a little confused about. So, we have the cube root of x squared plus 5 equals the cube root of x squared minus 4x plus 1. Okay, don't freak out. Remain calm. Continue taking lovely, deep breaths. Okay? All right. All right, you do the same thing. You do the same. All right. So, we're dealing with the cube roots. So that means yes. Hey, Queen T. Okay. It's okay. It's all right, Queen. Breathe, breathe, breathe through it. Breathe through it. Anytime we see, notice both of them have the cube roots. We just have to remember what the inverse of a cube root is. And the inverse is we're going to raise it to the third power. Okay, that's how you get rid of the roots, the radicals. Okay. All right. So you can try to bring down a house. Okay, shoot, Superwoman. Okay, in order for the people, you got to coax people out of their homes. Think about it. Someone invites you to go to a party. You just had a long week. And you're just like, and what do they have to do? They have to like, come on, girl. You know you want to go out. You had a hard time. Like, let's go out. Just have a couple of drinks. And we'll eat a little bit of finger foods and a little tee-hee and ha-ha. They had to do a lot of coaching for you to get out of your house. For you to, actually, let's back up. For you to get dressed without sweats. to go somewhere, right? So the same thing happens here. You have to ease people out of their homes. And the way that you do it, you have to do reverse psychology. Okay? You have to do the opposites of the inverse in order to cancel out. All right? I know, it's very deep. I just get deep. Okay, so the cube and the cube roots cancel each other. So once that happens, then you have your x squared plus 5 equals x squared minus 4x plus 1. Okay. Sorry, I have to move my thing so I can angle myself off a little bit. Okay. So now we want to get everything on one side, the equal sign. You know why? Because my highest degree is to the second power. So let's move everything. Since there's more terms over here, let's move these bad boys over here. So, it doesn't really matter, but here we go. So if I subtract x squared, eventually you're going to see it's not going to matter. And then I subtract, actually I'm going to subtract 1. If I subtract the x squares, notice the x squares cancel on both sides. Let me do this slow. I got excited for 5 seconds. All right, I'm bringing it back. So when I subtract the x squares cancel out. Now what's left is a positive 5 and negative 4x. That is a really long negative. I'm so sorry. Plus 1. So now we went from algebra 2, ready to sweat bullets, down to a pre-algebra type test. Okay? So we want to get our x by itself. All right? Yep, I had to pump the brakes, right? Sounds like an eviction, yes. So we already have an x right here. So why don't I move this 1 over to the other side, the equal sign? So I'm going to subtract 1 on both sides. Because we got to keep things even. You know, you never want to have one side of your body looking all built and athletic and then the other side looking like you've gone through some stuff, right? You don't want to do that. That's all. I always, when I go to the gym, I know I'm supposed to go to a place where there's no judgment, but I judge. When I see a guy doing so much to his upper body and nothing to the little twig legs, why you make me so sad? Do a leg press. Do some squats. Come on. Even that stuff out. All right, so we got 5 minus 1. That gives me 4. So now, we're going to divide both sides by negative 4. So negative 4 divided by negative 4, that gives me 1x, or I could just simply say x. And the same thing's happening here. I got a positive 4 divided by a negative 4. That will give me a negative 1. So we didn't have to go into any factoring, which is very nice. All right. Is that another Audreyism? Yes, definitely. I used to say, get your life. Just get your life together. Because every time I see somebody with a messy desk, I'm like, girl, get your life together. Or boy, get your life together. You all right? You need a hug? What's going on? Clean this stuff up. Looking crazy. But yes, all full body. Full body. Please. All right. SpongeBob. Yes, girl. Yes, she knows me. Exactly. We love you. Okay? Full body. Leg press, leg extension, leg curl. Maybe, I don't know, good mornings. Something, okay? You want us to be all packed, stacked, fully built. People running around BBLs, breaking toilets and all kinds of stuff. Come on now. Stop. Just stop. All right. When will I factor? If my x squares didn't cancel out and I moved everything to one side, that's when I'm going to factor. If my highest degree is to the second power, that's when I would factor. So that's when I would do either the AC method or just simply factoring. Okay? Because you are smart. What are you talking about? You feel so smart now. Why now? You feel smart every day. Stop. This is just basically solving radical equations. I thought when x squared, you always have to divide. Well, in this case, they cancel. Sorry. I got a puzzle peeps in my face. Yay, I did it right first time. Okay. Sorry. I gotta adjust everything. Yes, since my x squares canceled out, I didn't have to worry about, I can't do the division because I need to isolate this x first. So that's why we subtracted the 1 on both sides. And I know it looks weird because we're so used to seeing the x being on the left-hand side. But you're still doing the same exact thing. So once you combine that minus 1, then you want to divide both sides by -4. Okay? Makes sense? Hey, Mr. M. Welcome to the party. All right, not a problem. Yeah, you get a little backstory. You learn a little bit about me more and more each day. Careful. You might get addicted. All right, so... Did I just see sexual chocolate just come through here? Or is that sexy chocolate? That's funny. You should... No, I'm saying you subtracted x squared. Yes. Yes, I subtracted x squared. Because originally I was going to move this x squared over to this side. So in order for me to move that x squared over here, I had to subtract it. And then what happens, both of my x squares canceled out. Okay, that makes sense, Big Al? Oh, thanks for the gifts. Appreciate it. Okay, no problem. Well, Bobby, you will. It's going to take practice, my dear. It's going to take practice. It's all right. What do you think? I was just born knowing this coming out the womb, and I'm sitting there with an abacus? Like, no. First of all, what is the abacus doing in there? We'll talk about that later. So, no, it took a lot of practice. You don't know my backstory. I used to suck at math. Hated it. Okay? But until I really wanted to be a teacher, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew it wasn't history. I sure as hell knew it wasn't science. So I looked at math and I was like, all right, I got to face my fears. And that's exactly what happened. You have an abacus? Awesome. I'm telling you, that's like the latest and greatest. You should follow my friend Learning with Lynette. Okay? You need a tutor? Are you serious that you need a tutor, or are you just playing around? Okay? Learning with Lynette. Okay? Because she... Oh, sorry. Because she does... she's basically modernizing learning how to use the abacus. Like, she's trying to bring it into whatever this new century is. I can't keep up. Okay? Seriously? Message me. Okay? If you're serious about it, message me. All right. Yay. Loving the tapping. I know some of you guys are getting cramps and all kind of stuff. And we're getting close to 75. If we can get to, we have 138 of us. So now I'm going to get to my second part. I was only going to do one, but I said, you know what? Let me do this other one because this is another thing that she was struggling with. So go ahead and keep on tapping. Let's see if we can get to 77. I know Jess is like, I got carpal tunnel. Like, I know. I was on the other end in someone else's lives. I was like, felt like I was doing a shake weight. Just tapping like a crazy fool. They have to do something else. Like TikTok has to do something else, but I guess that's our way of training. I guess that's our way of working out, saying that, yeah, our viewers are actually doing something, cardiovascularly. They're tapping, so we're making them work that way. Hilarious. Oops. I should say angles. That would make sense. Okay, so we're looking at angles of elevation and depression. So, thank you, Kiki. I appreciate the gifts. All right. Yay, a second part. I know, right? All right, so angles of elevation and depression. So we're kind of looking at some of those word problems. Yes, the things that everyone loves. So if we're looking at let's say the angle of elevation. So if you're looking at the angle of elevation, you're looking up. Okay, so here's my theta. I'm always looking up. Elevate, rising, growing. Okay, looking up. But this is the one that gets everyone. This whole thing called the angle of depression. Now, when you're depressed, what happens? You're always looking down, you're looking sad, but you would think, like say if I have a line here, and then I'm looking this way, your angle of depression is actually right here. And they're like, oh, wait, I thought it'd be down here. But when you solve it, it actually is going to be up here. But when you're solving, you're using, remember we talked about, well, maybe not we. You talk about parallel lines cut with a transversal. And you've probably heard the phrase alternate interior angles. So that means the measure of this angle is equivalent to the measure of this angle. Okay. Sometimes people use that property, or they just use that to help solve some word problems and some equations. But the angle of depression really should be up here. Okay? So sometimes people kind of make themselves like a right triangle right here, and they go ahead and solve it that way, or they do the whole parallel lines cut with a transversal. That means this angle equals this angle. All right. So, keeping in mind, let me see if I can put a couple of the situations that you will normally see in some of these assessments. And I'm actually going to tape them in because I found some and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to cut and paste. Here we go. Because sometimes it's just so much easier just to do so. So let me tape this bad boy in. And you might have to zoom in with your cameras in order to get it all situated. See, this is the original cut and paste. This is what we do, man. You can tell I'm old school teacher. This is what we do. This is cutting and pasting. But I'm not using paste because that would take forever. All right. Okay. Sorry, I had to refresh my thing. So, let's see. I'm going to read it to you. A tower casts a shadow that's 60 feet long when the angle of elevation of the sun is 65 degrees. How tall is the tower? All right, so let's do a little visualization. Okay, so we have a tower casting a shadow when the angle of elevation of the sun. Okay, so here's my tower. Then we can use, say the sun is behind it. And this will be my shadow. So this is the tower. Okay, the sun is up here. So we have an angle of elevation. So that is going to be this angle right here. And it's saying it casts a shadow. Here's my shadow. 60 feet long. Okay, this theta is actually going to be 65 degrees. Okay. All right. So now what we're basically drawing here, and they're using what's called right triangle trigonometry. So anytime they give you any of these fun problems, you're basically looking at SOHCAHTOA. And you're probably like, say what? So, TOA. So means the sine of your theta. Sine is your opposite over your hypotenuse. Cosine, that is your adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent, that is your opposite over adjacent. So they say SOHCAHTOA. All right. Yeah, we're getting there. All right. So we want to figure out how much is the tower. And it's all based off of our theta. So my tower is opposite my angle. And the side that's always directly across my 90-degree angle, that's always my hypotenuse. I'm just going to put hyp for short. But we don't have anything. We don't need anything for the longest side. We don't need that. They're giving us opposite, and they're giving us a side that's adjacent. So when we're talking about opposite and adjacent, that means we're talking about tangent. So this is what's happening. You're going to take your tangent of the angle measure. The angle measure is 65 degrees. Then you're going to write what your opposite is, which was the tower. So that's what we're looking for. That's why it's going to be my x. Then my adjacent, which is the shadow, because it's adjacent, it's next to that angle, is going to be 60. Okay. I'm very proud of the 78 that's staying. Because a lot of people are like, no, this is hard, I'm out. No, you're going to have to face it. Okay, you're going to have to face it. All right. So, We're trying to solve for x. Okay, we're trying to solve for x. So notice we have a fraction. The inverse of a fraction is multiply. Every time we see a fraction, that's division. The inverse of division is multiplication. So we're multiplying both sides by 60, because this 60 and this 60 will cancel out. So now we have to use, this is something that can be on Praxis. This is something that's on ACCUPLACER. They might actually just have you write this as your answer, because remember, ACCUPLACER, GED, TEAS test, you can use a scientific calculator, but ASVAB, you can't use a calculator for all this. So they'll probably just say, hey, what would it roughly be? Because the only way you can get something out of this is you have to use a calculator. Okay. So in this case, it's going to be 60 times the tangent of 65 degrees. That's going to be what your x is. That's going to be how tall your tower is going to be. And if you want the actual answer, let me turn this on. Let's see if you guys can see it. Let me turn it this way. So if I type in 60, there's a tangent button that says tan, and I type in my 65. Okay, then I hit equals, and they'll say what you should round to. So we're looking at 128.7, because I think they usually do like 1 decimal point. If they do 2 decimal points, it's going to be 0.67. If they wanted 3 decimal points, it's going to be 0.670. Because you need to look at the next one over. Okay, in this case it was a 4. If it's a 5 and above, we give it a shove. If it's 4 and below, we leave it alone. All right, so I think 2 decimal places will suffice. So we're looking at 128.67 feet. That's how tall. And I'm going to use my approximate because we are rounding. And this is feet. So when you're dealing with these type of word problems, the main thing is draw a picture. Draw a picture. Okay? Yep, stay and learn. Yes. Oh, hey, Amber. How are you? All right. Good, Kaya. Good. Okay. Is there a value for tan? So tan, it all depends on your angle measure. Okay. Tan is always going to be your opposite over your adjacent. All right. All right. Almost there. Woohoo! 100K. Look at you guys. Cramping and I don't know what. I don't have insurance. So I can't help you. Thanks. Thank you. All right, so let's get with another one that they always use. If it's not about a tower, they always do something with a ladder. You got ginger? Oh, that reminds me. I was supposed to go to the store and get ginger today. I'll get it tomorrow. Yeah, I don't feel like dealing with Baltimore after I know they've been drinking most of the day. Not my scene. Not my thing. All right. Okay. They always put a problem about a ladder. So let's see if we can solve this bad boy up. Or a tree, yes. Or a tree, definitely. And they do compare one person and the tree, and they're like, well, how tall is the tree, or how tall is the person? And yeah, that's always fun. I love it when and always when you read these word problems, make sure that you don't have to change your measurements. So they might be talking inches with two things, and all of a sudden they're like, what's the height of the tower in feet? You're like, wait, what? So you might have to do some conversions. So just be on the lookout. So if they say feet, awesome. You're just doing feet. Everything's good. You don't have to worry about anything. Okay. So you're saying secant? They were probably thinking about electricians and roofers. True. Yep. Oh, well, thanks, Fisherman Fishing Phil. Yep, 12 inches is 1 foot. I'm telling you. Yes. All right, keep that in mind. All right, so kind of losing my lighting, but let's see what we got. All right, a ladder that is 20 feet long is leaning against the side of a building. If the angle formed between the ladder and the ground is 75 degrees, how far is the bottom of the ladder from the base of the building? All right, let's draw a shady little picture. I feel like Bob Ross. Let's do a little happy little tree. He was so peaceful. That scared me when I was a child. I don't know. But as I appreciate it when I got older. But trust me, a little creepy. Let's make a happy little tree. Why is the tree gotta be happy? What's wrong? Does the tree need a hug? What's going on? So how sick and twisted my mind is. All right. So, boom. So this is going to be our ladder. This is the building, right? Yeah, this is the building. All right, so this is going to be my 90 degrees. So they're telling me the ladder is 20 feet long. All right, so that means this side is 20 feet. And it's the side of a building. Here's the building. Here's a nice little building. Okay. And if the angle formed between the ladder and the ground. So when they're saying the ladder and the ground, they're talking about this. All right. And they're saying that is 75 degrees. So they're saying, here we go, right to the question. How far is the bottom of the ladder from the base of the building? Okay. This is the bottom of the ladder. This is the base of the building. So this is my X. That's what we're trying to look for. Okay? We are not talking about how tall the building is, so we don't need this. Where's my piece of paper? Okay? We don't need this. We just need this. So one thing that they're giving us is the side that's directly across from the 90-degree angle. This is my hypotenuse. They're giving me the side that's directly or next to this angle. So they're giving me the adjacent. Okay? We don't care about what's going across from this angle. That will be opposite. Nope, don't need that. So which of our trig identities does it work? Sine, cosine, or tangent? So they're giving me adjacent and hypotenuse. So C for cosine, or you can just say COS. Yes. Okay, C, finding the C, finding the cosine. Good, the cosine. Yes. If they were giving me opposite, that would be sine. They're not giving me opposite. They're giving me adjacent and they're giving me hypotenuse. So that means I'm using cosine. So over here, I'm going to write my cosine of the angle measure. And the angle measure is 75 degrees. And now we're going to set up its ratio. So the adjacent is my x, and the hypotenuse is 20, because that's how long the ladder was. Okay. All right. So now we're going to multiply both sides by 20. The reason why I'm multiplying is because when I'm doing division, I need to get it out, so I multiply whatever my denominator is, because these two things are going to cancel. So we got 20 times the cosine of 75 equals x. So if we are looking, oops, trying to find the right lighting. Okay, so if we're looking, there we go. If we're looking, let me clear this. So we have 20 cosine 75 and hitting enter. So we're looking at 5.176, or if we want to round it to the 100th position, it'll be 5.18 if we're going with the hundredths. So approximate, whoop, whoop, and we got our 5.18, and the measurement, which is feet. Oops, got a little crazy. All right. Thank you for the gifts. Again, sure. So I'm typing in my 20. Let's see if I can get it right here. It might be a weird glare, sorry. So I got my 20. You can hit times, or you can just hit cosine, because this means 20 times cosine. And then my angle measure was 75. And then I just hit enter. Okay. So even if you said 20 times the cosine of 75, you should get the same answer. All right. Well, thank you for the love. Appreciate it. Not a problem. Not a problem. Okay, and there is one other kind. So it's tower, well, actually two kinds. But let me see if I can find it. Oh, here. Okay, so I'm gonna set this one up. And I think I have like maybe one more after that, and then I am done for today. Try to get to bed, and my notebook is up and available on my latest. The pre-algebra and algebra 1 is up and ready to go, and my left-handed pre-algebra algebra 1 notebook is up and ready to go in my bookstore. Amazon is sorry, the A word is is tripping, so I don't know what's going on. Let's find that opposite. Yes. All right, so let's go right here. Thank you guys, I really do appreciate all this love and attention. Not used to it. But I guess I'm gonna have to get used to it. All right. right. So, from a 200-foot observation tower on the beach, a man sights a whale in I can't even say difficulty. There we go. In difficulty, the angle of depression of the whale is 7 degrees. How far is the whale from the shoreline? They usually have an observation deck. It's usually a ship. There's always some kind of distress. Okay, but this time they decide to use a whale. So my suggestion will be to draw a picture. All right, so we have a cliff. We have a person that's looking out. And their angle of depression, okay, it's not going to be here. It's going to be here. So let's just say that's the angle of depression, 7 degrees. And my thing is, oops, let's just here. And then this is your whale. I'm not about to draw a whale. That is crazy. Okay. All right. I know you're going to make fun of me, Michael. He's like, no, I would never make fun of you. Yeah, okay. Spewing out water. There we go. Distressed. Okay. I know, it looks nothing like a whale, but here we are. So, we want to know how far is the whale from the shoreline. So let's say this is going to be up to here. We're looking for this. Okay. They did say the observation is 200 feet on the beach. So this is 200. Okay. We do have our angle of depression. That's supposed to be 7 degrees. Got a little crazy with the degree symbol. So sorry. But like I mentioned, we can use that whole philosophy of 2 parallel lines cut with a transversal. So that means this angle right here will be exactly the same as this angle right here, because they're alternate interior angles. They're in between 2 parallel lines. So that means this can act as 7 degrees. So knowing we have the angle, we're looking at the side that's opposite. And then we also have the side that's adjacent. So that means we're actually going to use tangent. The reason why it's not sine, because they're not giving me a side that is opposite my 90 degrees, which would have been my hypotenuse. They're not giving me anything about that. I'm using what they give me. Tangent is the only one that doesn't deal with the hypotenuse. Sine, hypotenuse over hypotenuse. Cosine, side over hypotenuse. Okay? Now, taking a look, we're going to use the tangent of the degree measures, which was 7 degrees, and my opposite, which is 200, over my adjacent, which is the unknown side that we're looking for. Now, here's the thing. We're so used to seeing a number in the denominator. But this time, our unknown is in the denominator. So what would you do? You could multiply both sides by x and then divide by the tangent of 7. Or, here comes Audreyism again, you can switch these two, because you're going to end up switching them anyway. So that means we're going to have x equals 200 divided by the tangent of 7. And on a separate sheet of paper, let me show you why. As soon as I can find a separate sheet of paper. I will use this. Okay, so this is the long run. So if we have the tangent of 7 equals 200 over x. If I were to solve this, normally I would multiply both sides by the denominator, which is x. So these two can cancel out. So now I have x times the tangent of 7 equals 200. But we want to know what x equals. So what do we have to do? We need to get rid of this tangent of 7. Since it is x times tangent of 7, we're going to divide both sides by the tangent of 7. So now you have x equals 200 over the tangent of 7. Isn't that the same thing that we got when we just flip them? Okay, save yourself some time. I know, 7 degrees. I know, really. All right. Okay, so not 7 feet, 7 degrees. Okay, so now it's not going to be 200 divided by 7 because it's not 7 feet, it's 7 degrees. So we have to take the tan of 7 degrees. So 200 divided by the tangent of 7 degrees. So, handy dandy calculator time. So you have, I really got to work on my angles here. Okay, so you have your 200 divided by tangent of 7. You can close the parenthesis, yes or no. And when you hit enter, basically that whale is 1,628.87 or 87 hundredths feet away from the shoreline. Okay, there you go, Michael. Good. All right. All right. So let me put my answer down. All right, so 1,628.87 approximately. That's why I gotta have my waves. Feet. Okay, so hopefully we have a better understanding with the angle of depression. So the angle of depression is really up here, but we use this because there are alternate interior angles, and then we can focus on what we need to do with our triangle here. Okay, angle of elevation, you're looking up. Angle of depression, you're looking down. All right. Okay. Hopefully you have a better understanding with that. Because I'm done. I am kaput. I'm not as exhausted, but today was just as a busy day. And I still got some stuff I have to do. All right. All right. So for those that are still here, okay, again, one, thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you so much for the tapping. I mean, 117? Good gracious. All right. So give me some time because I'm going to download this video. So you can go here. Okay. Okay, you can either type in my name or you can type in my business name. Okay, either way it'll show up. And then I want you to do these things. I want you to subscribe. Okay, it's a free subscription because you never know. You might need it. Maybe some of the factors that we've done. I think someone... Okay, no problem, Lori. Welcome. Yeah, it is an old calculator. It's one of the first ones when they first started doing the TI-83. It's the first plus. It's been used. I know someone asked me to do something. I forgot what it was. Oh, stuck on percentages. Now, I've done percents in the things. So if you look at some of the videos, that's on there as well. Worst case scenario, 400 is what percent of 120? Well, think about how it's asking you. Here I go, doing stuff. So it's saying 400 is, meaning equals, what percent, so X percent, okay, of means multiplication, 120. So if I want to know, I'm going to divide both sides by 120, cancel them out. So I got these zeros, they can cancel out. So it's really going to be 40 divided by 12, which gives me like a repeating 3, like 3.33333. Okay. But in order for me to get the percent, I need to multiply this by 100. So I have 333 point repeating 3% is equal to X. Okay. Lots of threes. All right. Let me make sure I didn't skip anybody. Okay. Okay. Alright, still have the old TI with the red color. The TI had. Yep. When given the angle of depression, can you automatically... Hold on. All of a sudden it just rotated. Okay, when given the angle of depression, you can automatically know the angle of elevation. Yes. As long as you just remember that is what they're really looking at. All right. Yes, good. One of those old ones. Oh, they still work great because I still have the other one. I still have my old one. I might one day just show it. Okay. To play with. Yep, good lottery number. I know. It popped up on my phone. I'm so glad too. I'm glad. So if anything, please let me know. If you or you know someone that needs a tutor, please reach out. I mean, this is basically what I do. I used to work in the classroom. I worked there for 22 years. I finally decided just before COVID, like 2 weeks before COVID, that I wasn't going to return back. And COVID was the extra push that God kind of gave me. And decided to start a tutoring business. And now I'm able to tutor students all throughout the U.S. I actually tutored a young man in Nairobi, Kenya, and a young lady in Cairo, Egypt. They got their GEDs. It was amazing. I just love being able to help people. California, Washington State, Texas, Florida, Ohio, Vermont. I'm all over. Even Alaska. So Alaska is going to be starting back up next week. Not this week coming, the following week. So all that's going to be crazy. All right. Well, thank you so much for the gifts. Yep, Florida. All right. So definitely here to assist. And I know because I've been getting a lot of love. I definitely will do a TikTok discount. But you have to be subscribed to me on TikTok. Okay, you need to be one of my subscribers. That's the only thing. Maybe I'll figure out how to figure that out. But I know who's on my list. I know who my people are. But and if you need someone to help tutor for younger students, I do have friends. So still reach out to me if that's the case, because I usually just do 7th grade all the way up to adults. So if you have anyone that's like younger, like 4th or 5th grade, that needs some assistance, let me know. I have friends that do well with that. And calculus, I like it, but it's not my jam. So I do have my friend Robert, who's I got him on TikTok, and now he's doing very well. He's starting to grow, which is awesome. So far, the tutors that I did get on TikTok, they're starting to grow. It's all just the work that you put into it. It really is. Oh, thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. Yeah, see, and here's my thing, Lucy. It's not so much you weren't good at math, it's just how it was presented to you. And I don't think anyone, like, at the time that you were learning it, you weren't really feeling so confident with yourself to be in the classroom to raise your hand, because we all know we never wanted to be that person. And to ask questions, you're like, oh, we just want to go out for recess. Why are you asking questions? And we never really asked questions. We never really wanted to deal with more. So that's why I think we all struggled. I mean, that was me. Like, I didn't want to ask questions. I didn't understand, but we all just did the usual doe eye look and shaking our heads. Yes. Yeah, I know exactly what's going on. No, you don't. But now that we're older, yeah, see? Now that we're older, we just say, screw it. I got a question. I don't care how long we're going to be here. This question's going to be answered, right? This is your first with tan, cosine, and sine? Oh, Kiki. All right. Looks like I might have to go back to, let me go a little bit further with sine, cosine, and tan, like do a little bit of intro of trig and just get you guys familiar with that. So I might do that tomorrow. Aw, I don't know about one of the grades, but I'm here. Oh, I know. I'm so sorry. 13 high. I'm so sorry with that. Because there's a lot of my current students are seeing that. And I sometimes have to remind them to remind their teachers, like, we had something called COVID. And we're still recovering from that. Like, still. And it really did mess a lot of kids up. And especially if they were people that had younger siblings, because they gave, like, one computer per family. And when there's, like, 3 or 4 other siblings, when are you going to get your work done? So, and if you're the oldest, you usually make sure that the younger ones are taken care of before you're taken care of. So, yeah. What you doing, GED? What you doing, GED? Hold on. I might be missing something here. Okay. All right. That's awesome. Yeah. But now, okay, I got that part. Yes. Yeah, and I still have teachers that are saying, you should know this. Ugh. I should put it on a t-shirt and sell it to my students. Like, yeah, just wear this. Like, you should know this. No, they don't know it. Gotta assume that they don't know. All right. Well, thank you, Lucy. Appreciate that. Yep. Tomorrow I'll be on again at 7. Tomorrow will be 7 o'clock. Okay. It's just during the week it'll be 9:30. What you're doing, GED? So I'm basically just touching on a lot of concepts for GED. Okay, it just makes the student feels worse. Oh, yeah, it really does. And obviously, they're not going to ever ask a question, or they're not going to ever trust you to help guide them in the right direction. So tomorrow night, I'll be here at 7. What nights are you doing GED? Almost every night. Most of the stuff is really well related to GED. Now, I want to say the HESI. Again, every state calls it differently. Is that for praxis? Or what is the HESI? PM. Yes, PM Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, PM Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Oh, thanks for the gift. Okay. It's like a tease? Like a tease test? Or like teasing, like tickle tickle? Oh, okay, like a tease test. I'm like, what? Oh, so it's like a tease test. Yeah, so it's a lot of the algebra components. Guys, a lot of these standardized tests, I know, right? A lot of these standardized tests is very close related to each other because most of the standardized tests are made by the same company, ETS. So, like your test for electricians, your test for teacher praxis, for your TEAS test, especially the algebra component, the ASVAB, they're using a lot of that as well, and also your GED. A lot of them stem from the same concepts. Mocking your brains up. I know. After they shut down TikTok. Oh. Right here. Boom. There you go. I'll be there. So if anything ever happens to this, this is where I go. Just click here. Follow me. Subscribe. Again, it's a free subscription. Yep. I know. It's all. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to be here. I'm going to ride this train until it falls off. Because you all know, all good things have to come to an end. But that's the one thing I do like about this platform is that I can, one, be myself, and I attracts like. And then two, you guys are very responsive. Like, I love seeing the comments, and there's more responsibilities and more people chatting. Whereas I can't get this on Facebook. I just get people stalking me like they're crazy. Like, what did I eat today? Oh, they'll tell me. Oh, at this time you ate this and this time you ate that, because they're just watching. They don't interact at all. It's just boring. Do you Skype or do virtual tutoring? I do tutoring. You keep asking me if I do tutoring. Yes, I do tutoring. Oh, I'm so glad. I think I did see that. Yes. Yeah, and I'm definitely doing virtual tutoring. I am not doing in person. I just, not too long ago, talked to a friend of mine that she was doing in person, and she was going to some person's house, and she drove up, and it was a trap house. And she was like, I'm not going inside there. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I hope you're learning to do online tutoring from now on. Try to snatch my girl up. That's crazy. Right? And like, that's what it has to be. I know, insane. That's why I do online. I don't care if my neighbors, and of course a couple of my neighbors asked me to tutor their kids, and I said, yeah, okay, here's the Zoom link. She's like, why don't you just come to my house? I'm like, girl, I don't know you. I don't care how long we've been neighbors. I do not know you. I don't know how you cook your chicken. I don't know how you pet your animals. I don't know how you clean. I don't know any of that stuff. And then plus, I go back to back. Like, say, sometimes I'll go 4:30 to 5:30, 5:30 to 6:30. Then I have a 6:45 to 7:45. Then I'll have a 7:45 to 8:45. And there's times I'll give myself a little 15-minute break here and there. That's it. But I go back to back. I do not have time to go trucking from your house to my house and just so you can have the convenience. And you want to have a discount? Girl, you're tripping. Get online. Craziness. Yeah. Let you block trolls? No, I don't think it does. I know. I'm telling you, safety first. I know. I'm telling you, because you won't hear about it, but there was at least 5 African American girls that are missing last week, or this week. Sorry, this week, 5 in the last 4 days. But you won't hear about it in the news. Missing, just popped up missing. Don't know where they at. Don't know anything. Yeah. So we're all just keeping a lookout. This is wild. I know. We're living in a wild, crazy time, and I'm not saying wild, wild west anything. Well, it's getting calmer with that here in Maryland or in Baltimore, but people are just coming up missing in 4 days. Exactly. Young ladies, young women, like between the age of 14 and I think the other one was 16 or 17, I think was the oldest one. Yes. I'm telling you, you got to check with your kids. And it's not just the girls. You also got to check with the boys, too. Because there's some women out here. Whoo-hoo. Wow. You thought Diddy was bad. No, and it's not too soon. Because there's some people that's just crazy. I know, trafficking. Yep. You're still young. Babies. So that's why, like, I used to, when I had my dog, I used to just walk the neighborhood. So if there's a new face that I don't know, right away I'd be like, you all right? Who you supposed to be with? What's going on? Like, I'm one of those weird people who be like, you're not from this neighborhood. What's going on? Who are you visiting? What's happening? So even I got to be careful with that because people just get on them bath salts and all kinds of craziness. I ain't got time. I'm trying to live. I'm trying to have a life. I'm trying to redo. I already wasted 12 years of my life with one person. We want that forever. But at the same time, I want to build this business so I can help build you guys up so everyone gets to see your greatness. That's what I want. All right. Yeah. Drownings? Good gracious. I know. That's what I'm telling you. And all these young girls with these boyfriends that are like 20s and 30s and they're like in their 16s, like, but he loved me though. Girl, stop. Next thing you know, missing. Or people are dating people and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna let him babysit my child. Say what? You only known him for like 2 weeks and you're gonna leave him with your baby girl? You tripping. I don't know who smoked. What are y'all smoking? Stop. Whatever it is, get off of it. Because that's some craziness. Oh, all right. Hey, Delilah. Not you. Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. All right, my babes. What? Her excuse, she thought my baby was beautiful. Okay, keep that to a distance. What you doing? What? Ugh. I know. But see, that's what a lot of people, they just get like, oh, we know each other. No, y'all know each other for that night. That's it. Maybe the next night or the next morning. That's about it. But you don't know him. And then you will have the audacity later on be like, oh, I think she lying. What? She don't want to see me happy. Oh, my God. Anyway. This is starting to get kind of crazy. Right. I don't know you. I do not know you. Even if we've been going together for 2 years, I still don't know you. Because I only know what you share with me. And that's the thing. we only share what we feel comfortable with sharing. We never share our true, deep, dark secrets and all this other stuff because we want to be liked. You're not going to share all that in the beginning. No, you're going to wait till you find out how serious the relationship is, and then all of a sudden, all this stuff start coming out. I can't. So if you have kids and you're trying to get back into dating, literally ask the questions. Ask every question that you could possibly have. If you're not sure what questions to ask, chat GBT that thing and get a list of the questions that you need to be like, hi, how you doing? Okay, I'm so glad that you're attracted to me. I'm attracted to you. Okay, that's cute. I want to know your finances. Okay, where you living? Do you have a record? What's your full first and last name so I can look that up? You can do all that stuff. That's how it is nowadays. I'm sorry. If that makes you feel uncomfortable, that means this ain't going to work anyway. Okay? All right. Boom. All right. Do you have anything to lose? Yup, I'm telling you. You got to check everything. And it's not just a female thing. It's also a male thing. Trust me, some of these women out here are crazy. Man. And I'm friends with half of them. I don't know how we became friends. I really don't. There are times I'm like, I'm going to be walking with one of them next week. I'm like, why are we walking? Girl, you never walked a day in your life. Now you want to walk? Let's walk with Jesus. My name is not Jesus. What are we doing? Why are we hiking? Are you trying to kill me? No. No. Right? So, again, services, small groups, private tutoring, I got you. Courses, I got you. If you want, you can come here. You can get all the information of that. If you like my books, I didn't even talk to you about my book. Man, y'all missing out. So, this is my notebooks, okay? Whole bunch of notes. Try to keep it nice. Try to keep it clean on both sides. But in addition to that, okay, for those that don't know, there's also a resource book in the very back. If you're not strong with your multiplications, we got 1 to 200 for the factor sheet. So this will help you break down those radicals, help you factor all those polynomials. You got the rules of integers. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, there we go. Okay, we got the rules of integers, we got the order of operations, the properties of exponents, also some linear and quadratics. Then we also have like volume, surface area, and also we have like the unit circle. But there is, as I said, I just on my virtual bookstore, which is right here. I just uploaded my left-handed notebook for pre-algebra and algebra 1. It's also great for people that are taking college algebra. So I'm able to upload a lot of those references as well as just a regular one. So I did a regular one and a left-handed one. So can't wait to show those to you. And if you like my notes and you're just like, you know what, Audrey, I just want to steal your notes. What can I do? Well, you can order Audrey's notes. Da, 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 da. So with Audrey's notes, again, you get a copy of all my notes. And what happens is there is a QR code at the very bottom. If you take a picture of that QR code, it will take you directly to the live that is associated with these page of notes. So right here is Simplifying Radicals. This happened in April the 19th. So all you have to do is just sit there and follow along. So it's great for remediation. It's great for a little advancement for homeschool students if they just want to have like basically tutoring in a pack. So books 1 through 4 is available at the A, but of course the A only get 50 cents a book, whereas my personal bookstore, I get a little bit more of it. So that's about it. Okay, I think that's all I have to share. I shared my knowledge. I'm still going to be working on my Algebra 2 pre-calculus notebook, just work on those resources, and I think that's about it. So I'll just be here 7 p.m. and we're going to do a little bit more with the trig identities of the Soka Toa. All right. Wow, you guys you're still tapping? My goodness, 141. You guys are so funny. Yes, this is definitely a new record. Okay. All right, so if you need it, that's where you can go. Where'd I go? Right here. And I was working on the covers earlier today. So we'll see. Oh, the double tapping. Yeah, I can't leave. I know. It's crazy everywhere. It doesn't even matter where you go. It really doesn't matter. The cost of living is ridiculous. We'll talk about that later. The Algebra 3 book, I do not. Because I know that'll be more so like a little bit of calculus and all that. But I will see. Alrighty. Alright guys, seriously, you've been tapping nonstop. Now it's an addiction. Like now it's not a habit. It's past the habit. Now it's just like I just can't stop. Okay. Yeah, so pre-calc is more aligned with Calc 3. Okay. Yeah, so I'm kind of working on that one. So I can add the more of the trig identities, more of the unit circles, also degree, minutes, just a lot of those other little trig things. She's like, I'm trying to get to 150. All right, well, there's 64 of you. I know. See, and don't try to like sue me. Like, oh my God, you're the reason why I have carpal tunnel. I'm giving you the bill. I think by now TikTok should have another way of liking. Like maybe like a 20 button or 100 button. I don't know. I might make the suggestion. Know your job. Oh, I know. It won't help you sue you. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I think I can do this myself. Yeah. So it's all like we just have to be safe. If you ever have anybody that makes you feel like inferior, the only way that you can shut them up is just show your worth. Just go out and do what you gotta do. Okay, just a couple minutes. Okay. Yeah. Sing for us. No. Sing for you. What is this? Are percentages on any of your books? Yes. Let's see. Combination. When was the last time I did percentages? I would say in book 3 has that percentages in there. Because the last time I think I did percentage was, here it is, May 1st in 2025. Because I was doing this. Yeah, it has the QR code down there. So we were looking at percentages. So that was like May 1st. Even if you go to, even if you go here, you can go to May 1st because I have all of them dated and just check out May 1st's video. Trying to see if I did percentages after that. Yeah, because I have like most of my probability stuff is in there. Alright. Follow the yellow brick road. Yay! All right, we're done. We're done. You did it. You're exhausted. You're satisfied? I'm well beyond satisfied. My goodness. All right, no more tapping. There we go. Shut it down. Stop. You know that had to be Michael. The couple taps here and there. See, now you're addicted. You can't stop. All right. So, everyone, have a lovely evening. I appreciate you. Keep being the strong and amazing people you are. I know when things just doesn't seem easy for you that, it's impossible. No, it's not. It's definitely possible. You just have to learn to break things down in small bits, do what you can do, and keep it moving. It doesn't matter how fast you do it, it's how accurate you do it. And whatever that it is, go ahead and do it. I don't care if 28 other people are doing the exact same topic. They are not you. You know how many other people do tutoring on TikTok? There's a good handful of us. But I'm not them and they're not me. So we just go here and just break concepts down. Okay? Diction is a problem. Yes. All right. Thank you. All right. Well, thanks. I appreciate you calling it meaningful. I appreciate that. All right. I'm shutting off the live. I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I will see you again. No, I'm not doing 7 o'clock tomorrow. You are so right. Someone did say 9:30. I will... It might have to be earlier than 7. It might be 5:30. It might have to be 5:30 because I forgot I have a client at 7. Yeah, and I don't want to do it too late. So it might be 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'll try to put a post out as like a little reminder. I'll see if I can do that tomorrow. Okay, so I can do a camera because I can't. It's too dark in here. And it's already hotter than I don't know what in this room right now. So I gotta go. All right. So have a good evening. I will see you guys. Thank you so much for all this crazy tapping and the gifts. I greatly appreciate it. And I will see you tomorrow afternoon sometime, like late afternoon, early evening. All right. Love you all. Take care. Bye now.